It's a very big challenge of high levels of sabotage. Your Excellency, we get a lot of saboteurs from government institutions using government facilities.
The National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps has put in place a roadmap to roll out this patriotism environment campaign in 18 zones of the country. I'm Nafka Farida and Stephen Kalisya in Kampala.
Now, the First Lady Janet Kataha Museveni, also Minister for Education and Sports, has commended Makerere University for the development and digitalization of academic records and processes. The First Lady was represented by the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo.
The Digitalisation of Academic Records and Processes project targets to streamline management of records, enhance security and academic records, and create ease and secure access for the public. At the launch of this facility at Makerere University, the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, was represented by the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo.
Pressing public concerns such as efficiency, security, integrity, and accessibility, as well as eliminating the unnecessary delays in the processes.
The minister is optimistic that this innovation will counter risks associated with bulk paper record keeping and improve on the institution's integrity.
Traditional paper-based record keeping systems present clear challenges and risks. For instance, the space factor, the risk of mixing inactive and active records, the potential of mishandling of examination results.
Through Makerere University and Innovation Fund, RIF, the university has endeavored to stand out in innovation and research to exhibit utmost academic excellence.
Affecting records management at Makerere, manual handling processes, inadequate storage space, manual lengthy processes, inadequate security for records, inexistence of a policy on records management, lack of a system to streamline records management. The above challenges tainted the image of Makerere University as being unresponsive to the needs of its students and alumni. It is this time wastage, frustration from students and alumni that stained image of the university that the DAP project hoped to reverse by digitalizing academic records and processes with the ultimate goal of operating e-services.
Makerere University management applauds government for continued support, especially financially, to thrive in this dynamic and competitive education environment.
That has continued to be available throughout the last 5 financial years is a clear demonstration that the government of Uganda esteems research and innovation as a catalyst to Uganda's continued march from a peasant to a modern and prosperous country. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to say that Makerere Research Innovation Fund has transformed Makerere academic and research landscape tremendously.
We know that this that has started here will definitely roll out. You have the full council support, and we're going to ask government to support us to roll this project out to the colleges, to all the colleges, so that Makerere University will be totally and fully digitized. All the student records will be totally and fully digitized.
The commissioned project will facilitate the university transition from a paper filing system to a digitized system of storing students' records. Abdul Nasili Luwama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
The Chairman General of National Organization of Trade Unions, NOTU, Musa Okello, has called upon Uganda Revenue Authority URA to intensify efforts in engaging traders regarding the electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution.
Musa Okello highlighted that traders are indeed willing to comply with tax regulations, but are facing challenges regarding the procedures and timeliness for tax payments at the URA.
Taxes its impact on the business people. People need to understand. Maybe when they understand, they will not even have this kind of fear that they are having now. What is happening is that people do not understand what is going on. They do not understand the kind of taxes that are being imposed on them.
Okello was speaking at the Uganda Market and Allied Employees Union executive meeting held in Chisasi, a Kampala suburb.
They are feeling the taxes are being oppressive. What is needed now is intensive sensitization of the business people in this country.
Wanzusi Robert Makuthu, the General Secretary of the Infrastructure Union, urged politicians to refrain from meddling in market affairs.
The country doesn't belong to you. This country belongs to everybody. Don't try to own everything.
Chiria Hassan Alimansi, General Secretary of the Uganda Markets and Allied Employees Union, emphasized the necessity for a positive relationship between URA and market vendors.
We just want the government to make sure that most of that money which is supposed to help us COVID relief funds can actually reach our people.
Agnes Anin Natkunda, speaking on behalf of women working in markets, highlighted the numerous challenges they face.
For us women, we are not catered for in form of those presidential directives. We have to work in the market for 3 years, and then after 3 years, you go anywhere else that you don't care. You have to stay there for only 3 years, and then after 3 years, you leave that stall or a lockup to another person.
Rwanda High Commission in Uganda has commemorated the 30th anniversary of the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. The event was commemorated in a public lecture at Makerere University, where the young generation was urged to prevent history from happening again.
The ignorance about the genocide has...
At the Rwanda's Kwibuka at 30 years, the young Rwanda generation has been asked to focus on ensuring that the 1994 genocide does not reoccur. It was noted that the youth are the focal point of Rwanda's journey after the genocide.
I think it is very important for the students, especially the youth who are here, because as it was mentioned by the panel, most of them are young, so we want to keep the memory. We want the young generation to understand what happened. That's why we also say that 30 years is a generational cycle, because...
According to Ambassador Pascal Ngoga, the current brutal killing against the Kinyarwanda speakers in Congo could be compared to the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. He calls for quick action.
Des génocidaires moving around in the Congo forests. And from there, they've been committing atrocities, killing not only Tutsis this time, but killing Kinyarwanda speakers in DRC. And we have maybe occasionally political discussions and summit discussions, but we have not made an effort to say, oh, by the way, 1948 we said never again.
You already seeing what is happening in DRC. The people there, the Tutsis, they are being killed. Some have run away, they are refugees.
There was a call to all Africans to narrate their own history and not allow the Western world narrate it their way.
A neighboring country like Kenya, you need usually a Western intermediary. So a report by the World Bank, an academic at the School of Oriental and African Studies, and not necessarily researched out of the University of Nairobi. I think if there's anything that the young generation present here can take from this conversation is that knowledge, especially knowledge of what's happening in our context, in our countries, is very important. Much as
the Genocide Memorial Lecture was on a topical discussion of the genocide against the Tutsi, memorialization, preservation and resilience. Mariona Wori and Robert Katamba for UBC.
Now, the people of Hoima and Fort Portal cities and those of Kasese municipality are calling for additional projects under Uganda's support to municipality infrastructure development USMID. This follows the facelift from the success stories of upgraded roads, drainage systems, as well as markets.
Hoima is made up of two main administrative units, a city and a district. They both belong to Bunyoro, a sub-region housing one of Uganda's oldest kingdoms, Bunyoro Kitara. Fort Portal is another city belonging to one of the districts in Toro sub-region, Kabarole. It is equally unique over its shelter to another kingdom within the vicinity, Toro. A few kilometers away is an aspiring industrial city, which is still at municipality level, Kasese. It equally houses the Rwenzururu Kingdom, making it exceptional. This has made the need for infrastructure development in these areas more than needed. This is what the Uganda support to municipal infrastructure development has been doing.
We also thank the World Bank for the loan they gave our government. We thank the government of NRM for the very good gesture which they are giving to all urban developments in Uganda, starting with the municipalities and now the cities.
It has all been the handiwork of the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development for the successful implementation of the project. And it all remains thanks to the World Bank for the continuous funding. In Fort Portal, for example, USMID, as goes its acronym, is a success.
What USMID has done is, one, it is visible and it is tangible. The face of the city is gradually changing positively in terms of roads.
The roads, so far upgraded, qualify to be named first class, a description which fits more with the beautification and street lighting smartness.
We had a consultant on ground to guide and make sure that we achieve what is supposed to be done. I believe there is value for money for all the projects we have done in the city.
The same opinion and observation is evident in the neighboring Hoima city.
The hygiene of the slaughterhouse, actually it is a slaughter place in Kiriatete, where we have been working, and the market of our business has been not well. Actually, many people have been haven't been buying meat from us. People from the oil sector are buying meat from Kampala and some other areas.
We also believe there will be enough meat, since the contractor and the other leaders have told us that this facility has a capacity of slaughtering 80 animals per day. And they have also assured us of safety. They will have fridges and other things to keep our meat safe.
To the area leaders, there is value for money.
It's going to bring on development, because we realize that our business community in Hoima City
have been losing out opportunities, especially the oil companies. When it came to suppliers for meat, Hoima was not considered because of our slaughterhouse. So I believe now this is going to be a great advantage to the business community in Hoima City, especially those ones dealing in that business.
To complement this are residents of Kasese municipality, including those operating from the center and those on the outskirts. They all agree YID has been both a game and life changer.
Kasese is now looking nice. At first we had been having roads, but we are not like these ones that we have. That's why now these days you look, everything is now moving smoothly. Even there is a great change. Even the way people move, it's not like the way we've been moving other days.
I want to kindly ask the World Bank to ignore whatever it's not good, but to continue funding Uganda, more especially Kasese municipality and the next towns like Mocha Town Council, Bubuku, so that in the future it becomes a city that everybody would enjoy on, everybody would also benefit and also avoid all the dust that has been in Kasese municipality.
This has also seen political leaders speaking with the same voice, despite subscribing to different affiliations.
The infrastructure development, especially the road network in Kasese town, has become really what we wish to have.
We have managed to expand our roads. Our roads were very narrow. They didn't have proper drainage. Some drainage channels had broken down. So we had a challenge of stormwater drainage. Now that one has been addressed, the roads are 4 lanes, where we have the parking lane and the drive lane. Then also on the other side, the same.
3 cities, 3 districts, and 3 kingdoms with unique natural features makes these areas potential and established tourism capitals.
We still need more. But I'm very certain now that we have a mayor who listens, I am very certain that this is going to be no more a story.
Thus the need for area infrastructure development remains apparent, for which they ask for more.
It is prudent for me to say that we are extremely very grateful for the input, for the intervention, and we do pray that the next program, which I've already pointed out that is going to be with Smith, also comes to Fort Portal so that our development can move a notch higher.
The only thing is we pray the project continues, because this USMID indeed is giving us a very good facelift as cities, as new cities and municipalities who are benefiting from the program.
The answer to these appeals will be known at the end of June 2024 as government bids for additional funding from the World Bank. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Buganda Premier Charles Peter Mayiga has issued a stern warning about the perils associated with constructing factories in wetlands, citing their detrimental impact on the environment and their potential to exacerbate drought conditions. Mayiga delivered these remarks during the 99th District Conference organized by Rotary District 9213 held at Spec Resort, Munyanya.
The Katikiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, has emerged as a strong advocate for environmental protection and gender equality, highlighting crucial issues for Ugandan society.
Lango has resulted in tens of thousands of trees being planted in the various counties of Uganda. The collaboration with regard to the Rotary Council run has witnessed more and more people participating in the run, hence raising significant amounts of money for the bank.
He emphasized the urgent need to preserve wetlands during a speech at the 99th District Conference organized by Rotary District 9213. The Premier warned against building factories in wetlands, citing their damaging impact on the environment and potential to exacerbate drought conditions.
Long after Churchill was dead, we degraded the environment in the name of development. Through deforestation, we settled, cultivated and built factories in wetlands. I don't know what it is about investors and the wetlands. I don't know whether factories only function when you put them in swamps. I never understand that, but it happens. We dispose of plastics wantonly.
He encouraged Ugandans to actively participate in tree planting initiatives. Mr. Maiga stressed the importance of equitable treatment for boys and girls, noting that neglecting the proper upbringing of boys can hinder their ability to assume responsible roles within their families and communities.
The Boy Child program ought to be run, in my opinion, a number of more other years so that we get more responsible male citizens. That children are children, whether boys or girls.
The conference also witnessed Fabiano Cassi, Managing Director of Centenary Bank, lauded Rotary clubs for their dedication to supporting vulnerable communities.
Of course, when we look at what Rotary does, it does the work that aims at alleviating problems that afflict our society, our communities. And as you know, Centenary Bank works with the communities. Centenary Bank is there to address issues that affect, especially financial issues that affect communities, especially the ordinary Ugandans.
This shows how important it is to protect the environment, treat boys and girls fairly, and help communities grow. Marian Awori and Jamil Sekaja for UBC.
The Joint Clinical Research Center, JCRC, has donated over 190 million shillings to Uganda National Accreditation Services, UGANAS, to facilitate its work of accreditation medical laboratories countrywide. The JCRC Deputy Executive Director, Ms. Drola Sebagala, handed over the vehicle to UGANAS Director Richard Musafiri at UGANAS Head Office, Nakawa.
We'll be clapping in the background.
Give another clap.
We want to congratulate you for coming this far to this journey, for the journey that is aiming to strengthen capacity in the country, to recognize quality lab services and minimize costs that have been actually going abroad for such kind of service that we can actually do here. Because we have the expertise, we have the technical teams, and there's no reason why we should continue to export such kind of services.
The services. At the moment, the country is getting accreditation from bodies coming from South African accreditation services, Kenya accreditation services. Others are coming from Egypt, like this Chemifa is getting from Belgium accreditation. They fly assessors from there. So the cost of accreditation, the biggest is to fly experts or technical assessors from outside countries. And the requirement is also they sleep in 5-star hotels. The cost, UGANAS will reduce this cost by between 30 to 40%, because we shall be using our own technical assessors who will be driving from their homes or from the region in their cars and come to do assessment. I think that is where we're going to be.
To date, as I talk, we have 73 laboratories accredited. So that's a huge number to sustain those accreditations. We are also cognizant of the fact that when the accreditation body is here, we shall have our products, exported, a lot of our products will be accepted internationally because the cost of accreditation service will be, affordable. So many of our organizations will be using accreditation service.
And then I told him, yeah, we've been using Sanas, but now we have Ugandans. So in academia, a renowned professor like them didn't know about Ugandans. So we have to increase awareness seriously, especially at that level, because if those ones pick it, then the word will go faster.
So,
thank you very much.
We are invited for break now.
Accounting officers at the public higher institutions of learning have been warned to desist from diverting funds meant for staff motivation. This was during an all public institutions leaders meeting held at Chamboga University.
Harmonize people what? The person who is in M12 is going to be harmonized.
Trying to convince the Ministry of Finance to make sure that they divert part of the money for recruitment, which we are saying no, because the money was budgeted and released for salary harmonization, not recruitment. So we believe they will comply with us so that at least we live in peace rather than disharmony, because we want staff in public universities to get motivated. The First Lady, who was as the Minister of Education, Mama Janet Katam 7, we are really grateful. And we are grateful also to the Minister of Public Service and Finance, because working together as a team, they identified 61 billion, which will harmonize salaries for public universities for the next financial year, that is 2024-25.
Accounting officers to ensure that they don't divert the money from what it was intended for. The resolution number 3 was to ensure that the leadership of PUNSE puts together all the documentation that will guide the membership in public universities.
Universities get have different salaries for specific positions. So the government agreed with us that before full salary enhancement, 2 things will be done first. Anyway, 3 things. 1, to audit the payroll for all public universities. 2, to make validation for all public universities. Then to harmonize. So after this harmonization, that's when we shall receive proper and full salary enhancement.
And the finance, they are polishing for.
Makerere University College of Health Sciences wants more investment in simulation equipment to aid in training of health professionals about the new innovations in health. Professor Sarah Kiguli from Makerere University College of Health Sciences points out that health professionals need continuous training because there are always new technologies and innovations in treatment.
Over 100 scientists from different countries around the world convened in Kampala for the annual Health Professionals Education Scientific Conference. The conference is organized by Makerere University Health Professionals Education and Training for Strengthening Health System and Services in Uganda project. It is aimed at exploring how recent technological advances are aiding research, teaching and learning among health professionals.
Nurses and other people in the health system, so that we discuss different ways of how to train them. We learn from each other, and we want also to discuss ways in which we can improve and observe quality during the training, but also quality of the health workers after training.
The lead for the Makerere University Health Professionals Education and Training for Strengthening the Health System and Services in Uganda project, Professor Sarah Kiguli, explains that simulation-based learning can play a critical role in promoting continuous training of health professionals on new innovations in health.
or how to learn to deliver a woman who is giving birth. If I have that place where they can learn it and practice it outside the clinical area so that they get the technique, the skills, so that when they go to the wards to learn, they go with some skills. So simulation-based learning works because it prepares the students to have some basic skills so that they don't learn on the people. But also because of the increased numbers of students and the limited facilities for training, we can use the skills labs of simulation.
Continuous training of health professionals is crucial in advancing strong systems to improve health outcomes for the population. Adia Nakute, UBC.
Children from Karamoja who were resettled have received support worth 50 million shillings in items, including scholastic materials, beddings, among others, from Wetlands International, Uganda.
Over 300 street children from Karamoja were resettled in school after a month of rehabilitation at Masulita Children's Village in Wakiso district. The children were integrated in the two schools of St. Elizabeth Girls Lotome and Lokodiokodio primary schools in Napak district. By Napak district local government, Kampala Capital City Authority and other partners. During resettlement, partners like Kononia Ministries and C&D supported the children with scholastic materials. However, these were insufficient given their numbers.
We are 8 teachers in staff, posted and in the payroll. But the number is exceeding. We now have 949 children present in this school. Now, if we say we ration them to these teachers, it is quite overwhelming.
They were going with only one place from the places where they got from.
To boost the support to keep these children in school, Windows International Uganda has also extended a helping hand. Andrew Mara is the Executive Director, Windows International Uganda.
Responding to a call from the district leadership of Napak, a call in respect of the children that have been on the streets of Kampala. We've carried various items. We've carried instructional and scholastic materials. We've carried sanitary materials. We've carried personal effects worth 51 million shillings to support these children.
Napak district leaders led by resident district commissioner Dennis Okori, district education officer Joyce Nakoya, among others, welcomed the support. RDC Okori noted that the challenge faced by these children is the commercialization of child trafficking, which the district is fighting.
It's now been commercialized. There are persons behind this trade, deliberately making sure that the children find their way on the streets. And as the government, the structures on the ground have made sure that we have now come up with a system of profiling perpetrators. We have gone down to the community to try and sensitize.
The head teacher, St. Elizabeth Girls Primary School, Lotome, Margaret Bura, cried limited number of teachers to manage the high number of learners and lack of continuous support.
If there was unhealth to produce food so that we are able to produce food on our own or for ourselves within here.
The move to integrate street children into schools is intended to deter children from going back to the streets after resettlement. Kampala, Mbale and Jinja are some towns that register high numbers of Karamojong child trafficking. Marion Awori and Moriniga for UBC.
Now, farmers have been urged to venture into agribusiness, tourism and other diversities in a bid to ensure increased production and economic development for the country.
Last month, Uganda held its first ever Innovation Awards, termed as the COOP 360 Innovation Awards, following a competition of over 30 cooperatives with the best innovative ideas in the agriculture sector. Farmers from Sebei district under their umbrella Major Integrated Farmers Corporation Society Limited emerged as the overall winner. Following this, and in a bid to implement their innovation ideas exhibited during the competition, a trip to the Albertine region was granted to them to create a wider market for their products.
The next thing is to expand your integration. And one of those potential areas is tourism as a business you can take up. So take your time as we go. Every stage ask questions, learn, so that when we get there and come back, you can begin to think through the lessons you have learned and what we can do together to develop more businesses for you.
The farmers were also tasked to diversify into other ventures for betterment of their livelihoods and communities, plus the country at large.
Going to the park, want to understand the supply chains that are within parks so that they can see how to supply some of these parks with their potatoes. But also, we would like cooperatives to diversify beyond agriculture, because agriculture in itself would benefit a lot from integrated business approaches.
So if you combine culture, you combine food, you look at your unique topography, those hills and valleys that when trains people keep running can be managed to be key tourism attractions.
Ugandan cooperatives were also employed to embrace unity, resilience, and partnerships in order to make headway in their businesses.
Your pitch and your business idea, your innovation came through to the top because of the area of resilience. Given your circumstances, your terrain, your landscape, your climate, you came out resilient and able to use the circumstances that you face locally as an opportunity.
The chairman, Major Integrated Farmers Cooperative Society Limited, says the award has motivated them to do more.
Is good on the other side. What can we borrow from the other side so that we improve on the relationship? Those are critical issues, because once we promote also toward, we know that we are going to attract, and this revenue is not how people can get it.
This was during a press conference at the National Theatre prior to the team's departure to Kabalega National Park, courtesy of Uganda Tourism Board. The first and second runners-up during the Innovation Awards were Bushika Integrated Area Enterprise Limited from Bududa District and Chibinge Coffee Farmers Cooperative from Bukoma Simbi District. The COOP 360 Innovation Awards are an initiative of Uhuru Institute for Social Development in partnership with Goldstone Consulting and Training, and they are expected to be held annually. Rebecca Nantongo, Susan Inabugude, UBC News.
Now, civil society organizations from Lango have partnered under one umbrella to solicit for resources for humanitarian aid, according to Moses Tim, the chairperson, Lango Humanitarian Platform.
We are ready to comply with this initiative.
Lango Humanitarian Platform is an umbrella body formed to empower local responders to lead and deliver humanitarian aid in the affected communities in the region. The initiative was launched this week in Lira City.
Total support to ensure that we have this platform to function.
The localization agenda has expectation of widening the proactive roles of the NGO fora in working with the civil society actors.
The platform will be able to coordinate and bring together all actors who are existing in this space without discrimination. As long as you exist, we have challenges of floods that come along. We always know Amolatar and Kwania are affected, and this requires emergency response. And now Humanitarian Platform exists to address such kind of issues.
The idea was welcomed by several civil society organizations in Lango sub-region.
Because they come, they give us the money to spend. After that, when we don't have money to spend, we have nothing to do. So you have to close shop, run to something else. But now we are beginning to say that, look, there is a better way of doing it. As the local organizations serve communities, can they serve in a sustainable way? Support the institution to also grow. You don't just come and use them. Actually, I could rightly say local organizations have been used, to achieve results. Then the international NGOs come and document those results.
and advocate.
The recent move to localize interventions is one of the processes of recognizing, respecting and strengthening capacities of local actors to effectively address the need of affected communities.
So that the community are in position to now help themselves design their solutions together with the local and national NGO.
According to Joyce Achoho, this is in line with the 8 commitments made by international non-governmental organizations.
The first commitment is to pass 25% to the local and national actors. And the second commitment is to address the issues of transparency.
We have to respond, whether it's civil society or as business community. In business, you translate problems into values, and you can create products out of the problems.
The Chamber of Commerce allows the private sector to creatively join the intervention when involved. Edi Ulwa, UBC News.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has now started listing of households and mapping in the 11 cities of Arua, Fort Portal, Gulu, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara, Soroti, and in the Greater Kampala comprising of Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono districts. For more information, please call 0755 342 128 or 0773 342 128. This message is brought to you by the Executive Director and Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Census 2024. It matters to be counted.
Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow with subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
And into the world of business. Now, Kigo Carpentry Village carpenters have urged the government to increase the tax imposed on imported furniture to boost the local market. They have appealed to the president to review the ban on government agencies buying imported furniture.
This week has been characterized by protests from city traders over what they call unfair tax policies. The Kigo Carpentry Village carpenters, led by their chairman, Ivan Ainebiona, have however distanced themselves from the ongoing protest.
Tuli involved. Mwebye ebigenda maaso.
olw'ensonga kino ekifo kyatuweebwa His Excellence the President okukola nakwekulaakulanya.
We are not part of United Arcaders Traders Entrepreneurs Association, UATEA, and we have no direct or indirect dealings whatsoever with UATEA.
Chigo Carpentry Village warned the leadership of the city traders not to involve them in their protest.
I'd like to use this platform to warn the leadership of United Arcaders Traders Entrepreneurs Association, similar organizations or individuals to never use our brand name, trademark, business when negotiating for their selfish interests. And if so happens next time, we shall sue the perpetrators to courts of law using our legal team.
They want government to come up with tax policies that support the local market.
This time when the whole country is discussing taxes, we request the government to double or even triple the current taxes levied on imported finished furniture, or impose a ban on the importation of furniture to our country. This is because it cripples our economy. It also denies the development of talent.
The local carpentry industry is insisting that government should implement its ban on the importation of furniture.
Bagenda ne bagula ebintu atengeze sente zandibadde bajja wano ne bagula wano ebintu kati ffe singa tulina bagagga.
N'alisabye Oweekitiibwa President omulamwa gwe wakubiriza okuba nti furniture ave ebweru bamukomye babe nga bamugula muno bandyongedde okuba nti bakikola ki bakituukiriza.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *185*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erunganisibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
We've hit refresh with Castle Lights. A premium new look. With the shiny silver label. An innovative cold indicator. A premium green neck label for a crisp and easy drinking beer. Fresh new look. Experience the fresh Newcastle Light.
And on the international scene, President William Ruto has declared 3 days of national mourning over the death of General Francis Sogola, Kenya's Chief of Defense Forces. Let's hear more in this report.
I am deeply saddened to announce the passing on of General Francis Omondi Ogola, the Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces. Together with him in the crash were 11 other gallant military personnel, 9 who also passed on with him. Our motherland has lost one of her most valiant generals. We have also lost gallant officers, servicemen, and women. The demise of General Ogola is a painful loss to me, and certainly the sorrow we all feel about this passing on is shared by all of the people of Kenya, and most especially the KDF fraternity. The nation will observe a period of 3 days of mourning commencing tomorrow, the 19th of April 2024. During this time of national mourning, the Kenya flag, the Kenya Defense Forces flag, the East African Community flag, and flags of all formations of the military shall fly at half-mast in the Republic of Kenya and in Kenya missions abroad. Poleni sana.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of us right from 8 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Mpango Mugalu Mohammed has been with us on sign language as we leave the set. Let us leave you to the weather forecast.
Hello there, we are live right now from Meteorological Center here in Entebbe to update you with our daily weather forecast. I'm Jasper Ainebyonna. In the morning, most parts of the country were partly cloudy, apart from some few areas that received light thunder rains. And for the satellite analysis, it is telling us that we have the most winds that are coming from southern sector blowing towards our country. And these are responsible for the rains that we are receiving, but also the rain belt being over our country that is contributing